We are out here in beautiful Springfield, Colorado to help the Wild Animal Sanctuary with another huge undertaking.
There's currently over 25,000 animals in the captive wildlife crisis, so that includes lions, tigers, bears, and that's in America alone outside of the regulated zoo and sanctuary system. So that's all private ownership, roadside attractions, that type of thing.
Over the next 10 to 15 years, we'll start to see a decrease in the amount of these animals that are in private hands or in situations that they never should be.
Our project this year is going to be to build a 50-acre tiger habitat that will be home to 5 to 7 tigers that were rescued from Joe Exotic around 2 years ago.
That facility, we've known him about for a number of years. He was one of the largest cub petting facilities as well as breeders, and a lot of the animals that we've rescued over the past 20 years have started from that facility or the other handful of facilities that are like Joe's Place.
The organization that owns this property is called the Wild Animal Sanctuary. They have an amazing facility in Keansburg that's open to the public, and it's home to a lot of large carnivores. And they've designed the whole facility to be incredibly low stress for the animals. And so we were just really amazed in visiting that facility at how relaxed the animals are. You know, we don't get to see animals like this anywhere other than a zoo, and the night and day difference was really amazing. And so as they've expanded to this location, which they call the Wild Animal Refuge, they've been able to build larger acre habitats and really get a lot of animals out here in a space that is just very private, and it allows the animals to just have their own little area that they can call home for the rest of their lives. And so we're really excited to be a part of this great organization and the good work that they're doing out here. Building a habitat like this requires a lot of steps. It's a lot of physical labor, and it's a lot of using equipment to our advantage to get this done in a reasonable amount of time. Thankfully, the sanctuary had already drilled all the holes, which is quite an undertaking out here. It is all rock. And so when we got here, that was done. And we've been helping them get all these telephone poles in the holes. These are all recycled telephone poles that are living a second life here, helping animals. So once we get the poles in, we get the dirt tamped in, we pour some concrete, and then we actually have to install insulators before we can go and run our fence. We're gonna put an 8-foot fence on that we have to stretch super tight and run lots and lots of staples in before finally we'll come on the inside, and we're required by law to install electrified wires just to make sure that these animals are not too curious about the fence and trying to get out. We've been told that the animals can sense the electricity and very rarely touch it. You'll also notice behind me that there are 2 fences here, and that's also something that is required by law for these animals. The inside fence is electrified, the outer fence is just a secondary. If for some reason the inner fence were to fail, there's still one more layer of protection. So you'll notice as we go through different shots and we work through this project, anywhere where there's a perimeter fence, you're gonna see these 2 fence lines. So we've got double the work, but we've got a great team, and we're excited to start making this look like something. It's the last day of work here at the Wild Animal Sanctuary, and we are super excited to be finishing up this 50-acre habitat. Behind me, all this noise is us installing some new dens for the tigers to be able to hide out underground. That means a nice cool spot in the summer, a nice warm spot in the winter, and a nice safe place as they're adjusting to this new habitat where they'll be able to get in there and just kind of decompress a little bit. So we're happy to be able to provide this space for them, and this is the last step in the process.
The number one difference between what we do for them versus any other facility or even a zoo is we specialize in the large acreage habitats. Most of the habitats at this facility are anywhere from 40 all the way up to 250 acres.
Our animals are not here for people, especially down here at the refuge. We're not open to the public, so these animals are fully free to just be themselves without kind of constantly having that vigilance. They're able to kind of have their personalities and be a little bit more of the wild animals that they actually are. One of my favorite things to see is when we first get them, once they kind of start to get comfortable and they start to develop their own personalities. All of these animals have different personalities, and a lot of times in the situations they're at, they haven't been able to show those. So kind of getting to see them learn who they are and grow into that, whether they're super ornery or they're playful or they're sensitive, whatever that may be. Just giving them the chance to kind of figure out who they are and embrace that.
When animals like that can't be released into the wild, a space like this is an amazing alternative. To those that donated to this project, your donation has made that impact possible, and without you, there's no way that we'd be standing in this brand new 50-acre habitat. So we can't thank you enough for supporting this project.